Today I'm going to be working on this nice u25b for you. It's pretty dusty, but other than that it looks like everything's in place. I especially like these handrails, which are orange. That's the color they're supposed to be, and I find it adds a lot to this engine. So everything's in place, the horn, the handrails, the couplers. It's just that the shell was melted, so the engine got really hot. So I'm not going to be able to fix that, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to clean it well. The first step though, I'm a little curious to see how it runs, so I'm going to go put it on the track. So let's have a look to see how it runs. It's actually not that good. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun to fix this one. So I'll start by taking off the shell. Taking off the shell is pretty easy. Just drop it like that. On the u25b, the old drive and the new drive, sometimes the top half of the body shell has to be taken out first. And that is not so hard. Just make sure to get the handrails out of the way. So once you have the handrails out of the way, the top part can just come out. Then you have to wiggle the bottom part out. Okay, so far so good. Everything's there. So while I work on my drive, I'm going to be putting the shell in the water with some dish soap and my toothbrush. So I'm going to get the dust off. So the drive system still turns when I put it under my on my workbench here with my test leads. So it probably needs a good lubrication, and then it should run very well. There's hope yet. So I take the handrails off so I can get in there and clean them a little bit better. So it probably doesn't run because it's dirty. So I'm going to disassemble this for you a little bit at a time. The gas tank, it's going to go for cleaning too. And I'm going to unscrew the two screws that hold the frame house together. And let's do the other side. And then these should come apart very easily. As the trucks come apart, you want to retain the order at which they come. And I don't know if you can see, but they're pretty dirty. So believe it or not, that's what I like to get. It makes me feel good to take this engine, which basically is no good to anyone else but me, and to make it run for me. So I'm going to keep taking the two frame halves apart. So inside here, everything's right where it should be. There's nothing major going on, except maybe make sure that these holders for the motor sit right in their place. Otherwise, it's going to sound funny. Looks pretty good. So I'll take them out completely so I can get in there and put some lubricant where you need it. So I put some here, here, and here at each side of the motor and each worm gear end. Lebel 108 is what I like to use. You only need 6 drops for the whole engine. So you probably the bottle's probably going to last for quite a while. So when every step of the way, every time I add another part, I test it. And I listen for noise. That sounds really good. Now this is the fun part. 100% this why the engine wasn't running. So I have to get in there and remove all the hair. So I pry very gently on these. They're pretty sturdy. You just don't want to break them because it would be a shame. There's replacement parts around for this. There's an eBay seller called So Much Stuff. Has a bunch of stuff to sell, and the price is reasonable. It's not particularly rare, this part, so usually has that in stock. This is just going to go on the tap with a brush and some soap. Well, there's your problem right there. There's just too much hair in there to prevent the wheels from conducting electricity. So that's the obvious reason why the engine wasn't running. So I'm going to clean that. I've never seen that much hair in any. So this is all the hair I was able to get out of it. That's got to be some kind of a record. So before I test it on the track, I'm going to test it on the workbench. Looks really good. And I'm going to test it on the track before I put my shell back on. So let's see what we got. Sounds pretty good. Alright, so let's put the shell back on. And now it's time to run some trains. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon.